Hey, it's me, Michael Ward. I'm back for another episode, speaking from my heart, like always. And I wanted to talk about some important relationships in my life as it's June and Father's Day is coming up. It's Black Music Month. And so, two very important things in my life, my relationship with my dad and my relationship with music and how they tie in together and the great, incredible memories that we've been able to share together through this. So, as always, I love to make this a conversation. So, like, subscribe, comment, leave your stories. Anything that you want to know, you can tell me your stories too. Slide in the DMs. It's all open for it. But you'll notice actually, yeah, you'll notice two things. For one, I have on glasses this time. I slipped in my contacts, which you should never do. But I did. I was so exhausted, and there's not a record up because I wanted to reveal it to you all in the context of telling this incredible story of me and my dad and my first memories of music. So, as long as I can remember, music has always been a part of my household, probably like many Black folks. Y'all can relate, right? Just grew up in just music, whether that's gospel, R&B, soul, um, fortunately for me, both of my parents are born in Houston, Texas. So there was a mixture of blues and zydeco and calypso and funk and R&B and B and soul. And my dad had the floor speakers and the old big case with the record player and the tape deck and everything in it. And I was that kid that was sitting on the floor in the living room in front of this case, just reading album credits, always in awe and amazed of like music. Like people actually sit and put these things together. Like this is somebody's job. And my dad would always as well have this military green case that he would take when he would go on his tours all over the world, and it would have cassettes in it. So I would always rummage through his cassettes, and in there, I mean, it was just a mixture of everything that I could possibly imagine, like from the divas, Whitney, I'm Your Baby Tonight was one I remember, to Kenny G, to old Charlie Parker, all of these sounds and this music that he would be, playing around the house. And so I was the kid who wanted to play with the record player because I'm like, how cool. And one of the very first records that I remember, um, I say that he gave me, but I probably took it. I feel like I took it, but I'm gonna say that he gave it to me. um, just after you take something for a while, it's like you just know that you're never gonna get it back. But that very first record was Shaka Khan. I feel for you, and the irony of all of this, I mean, just the fact that it was Shaka Khan, like, I feel for you, which my dad was also very much in love with Prince. And of course, I didn't discover later that it was a Prince record, I Feel For You, that she had covered, and falling in love with this record and this album. And I remember back in the day, he took me to Circuit City because we needed a needle for the record. And he just was telling me these stories about how like there used to be 10 cent, 25 cent to like get a needle and going to the record store, and some of his favorite albums of like Confunction and Lakeside and just all of this thing. And I just remember being like so engulfed in all of the stories and everything that he told me. And when we would ride together, because I'm the baby boy, and it would be moments of just me and my dad riding in his old white GMC pickup truck. And he would tell me stories about music and how he related music to his life. And one of his favorite songs is Who's That Lady by the Isley Brothers. And he would always sing it to my mom and always make me um, like being like y'all are so cute or whatever at that age, like 9, 10. And it's like, like this is so nasty. My parents are in love. But it was something very special when he would always say that, mention that about my mom and say their nickname. And they've continued that to this day, which is like, it's cute. It's cute. But it's like, ugh. which ironically as well in June is their 35th wedding anniversary. So it's like all of these things are happening all at once in June. And this just feels like the perfect timing to make this video. But throughout the course of the years, I just know my dad would always encourage me to be musical. And I went through my what I call baby face phase where I begged so much, begged and pleaded for my parents to get me a keyboard and put me in piano lessons so I could write songs and be like Babyface because Babyface at that time, it probably still is, was like everything to me. Like I would sit and study like the lyrics and the melodies and where he placed certain notes. And Karen White was also a favorite of my dad's. And so I think I want to say that's probably like my entrance was like into that whole work. Karen White, Johnny Gill. I just I just really wish like for me that I would have kept a lot of those old records and a lot of the old cassettes and tapes. I still have some, but when I was in college, I moved everything out of my parents' house, my vinyl and my records, like big old crates. And when I moved back, I remember I was so depressed because my dad came and got me from college. I, which is a whole separate story I'll tell y'all one day. But my dad came and got me from college, and I was just so depressed because I have felt like at this time in my life, like I was 20, I had left, graduated, and I was there for 3 years. I was no closer to getting my degree, and it just was this overwhelming feeling of like, wow, I left to go to college, didn't finish college, and I'm back at home in my parents' house. At that time, my relationship was ending, and I just was very, very depressed. I didn't know at that time that's what it was, but I just knew I was sleeping a lot, crying a lot. I couldn't place what my emotions were. And when I moved back, like I had so much stuff, and my mom was like, "You cannot fit all of this stuff back in the house, so we should have a yard sale." And so I was like, "I don't care." Like, I just, and I would also say at that time, I was recently diagnosed, so I didn't think that I was going to live anyway. So I was kind of just like, sell it all. Like, who cares? I won't be here. I mean, literally selling like all of my old records, stuff that I probably won't be able to find again unless it costs me an arm and a leg. Cause I looked and I just remember setting it all out in the front yard and just being like, I don't care, take it. Like my three turntables, my mixers, like everything. And I know probably in my like dad's eyes, he kind of was like, what are you doing? Because even while I was in college, my dad encouraged me to be a DJ. He was like, you have all these records, you have all of these like gifts, and you love music and you can connect it all. So you should like DJ. And I had, made playlists and things like that from like my sister's graduation party that I was over and my dad's retirement party later in life. And so I'm pretty sure for him to know like I'm selling all of my stuff, my records, everything like that, that something was going on. And he never asked me about it. To this day, we've never really talked about it. I, you know, we still talk about music, and as I rebuild my collection and find things and share music and we swap songs, we've never kind of talked about that. And I think that would really be a interesting conversation for us to have one day when we sit and we have our talks. Like that kind of should have been an indicator that, mm, you know, something wasn't right at that time because, like, I mean, I had like Stevie, Michael, like Beyonce's first solo album, like all of that, which is so rare to find now too. I'll just put that out there. But it's always been, the music, I should say, has always been a connector between me and my father, and just so many great memories that we've shared and had with it. So I just wanted to be light, and I know it's been a lot of events going on in the world. I won't even name them because I feel like we can place this at any kind of point in time since 2020 of just a lot of things that's happening. And I just wanted to be light and things that are joyful and remind me of really great things in my life. And this guy here, which is me when I was younger. And my dad is like in another photo with all of us that day. It was a special day too. But yes, share whatever you feel comfortable with sharing your memories as well in the comments, and like, subscribe, comment, share the video. I love how when I posted Shaka Khan too, a lot of y'all have already like been like, what do you know about this song? And this is one of my favorite albums. So what's your favorite track off this too? So, oh, I sound so old. What's your favorite track off the album, off the LP, the 45, the 33 and a half? Okay, I'm going to leave it alone. So thank you again for checking out another episode with me, Michael Ward, speaking from the heart. And as always, be good to yourself. I will talk with you later. Bye.